Hi, in this video we're going to find an area where we're cutting out a fraction of a circle from another fraction of a circle. So in this particular diagram, I've got a semicircle that's been removed from a quarter circle, and we want to find the shaded area, giving it as a decimal to one decimal place. Now, let's just remind ourselves, how do we find the area of a full circle? Well, if it has radius r, remember the radius is the distance from the centre of the circle to the edge of the circle, the circumference, then the area of that circle is pi times by the radius squared. Remember in algebra, when you have things next to each other, it means you multiply them together. So that means pi times r squared. Right, now if we want to make this region here, the way I always think of doing this is like, how would we make it out of paper? So I would start with this quarter circle. I'd cut out a quarter circle, and then out of that, I would cut out this semicircle. And when you cut out a region, you subtract the area. So I need to do the area of this quarter circle and subtract this area of this semicircle. Okay, now let's think about the radius of each of these shapes. The radius of this quarter circle, you can see, is 8. That would also be 8 up here, because that's also the radius of that quarter circle. That's the centre of the circle, and that's the edge of the circle, so that radius is 8. Now, what's the radius of the semicircle? Well, it's the distance from the centre of that semicircle to the edge of the semicircle. Half of 8 is going to be 4 centimetres. So we've got 4 centimetres and 8 centimetres here. So we've got 4 centimetres and 8 centimetres here. Okay, right. So we said we're going to start with the area of the quarter circle. In fact, it might be safest to just do these separately. So the quarter circle first. So we're going to do pi times the radius squared. So pi times this radius of 8 squared. So pi times 8 squared. But because we only want a quarter of the area of a circle, we're going to divide that full area by 4. So we're going to do that. And let's simplify this. Pi times 8 squared. 8 squared is 64. So it's 64 lots of pi. Pi times 64 we just write as 64 pi. So it means 64 lots of pi. And we divide it by 4. 64 divided by 4 is equal to 16. So it's 16 lots of pi. And then we want the area of the semicircle. Now we start with the area of a full circle. So pi times the radius squared. We said the radius was this 4 here. So 4 squared. But this time, we don't want a full circle, we want half a circle, because it's a semicircle, so we divide by 2. And again, we could simplify. 4 squared at the top is 16. Pi times 16 is just 16 lots of pi, we write it as. And we're dividing by 2. If we have 16 lots of pi and we halve it, you have 8 lots of pi. 16 divided by 2 is 8 pi. And we said to find this area, we're going to do the area of the quarter circle, subtract the area of the semicircle. So the final area that we want, the shaded area, is the area of the quarter circle, 16 pi, minus the area of the semicircle, 8 pi. Now, if we want to give our answer in an exact way, we could just say, well, 16 lots of pi minus 8 lots of pi is 8 lots of pi. But it wants the answer as a decimal to one decimal place. So we need to put 8 pi in our calculator and press the appropriate button to convert it to a decimal, and you get 25. 1 decimal place, 2.1, and this is in centimetres, so it's going to be a unit of area, which is centimetres squared. So the final answer is 25.1 centimetres squared, and we're done.